All right, a little air clarinet. We like it. We like it.
Aeronet.
Yeah.
All right, welcome back to the Flicketty Review Cast.
Yeah, we are.
By the Flicketty Do Cast. And today we're at episode 18?
I think so. Something like that. Sounds about right.
I think so. And this time we're talking about a good one. It's a new movie.
Yeah, we didn't go bargain bin this time. This one we did new because Mike's been trying to get me to watch this, and I was like, I don't know. I was kind of dragging my feetsies on this.
Yep, you were. This is the new Guillermo del Toro Frankenstein.
All right.
Which just came on to, what is it, Netflix?
Yeah, I think so. Or is it HBO? No,
I think it's Netflix.
Netflix, yeah.
Yeah, just this past Friday.
Now, the reason he sold me on the Guillermo del Toro is I like the aesthetics of the Hellboy movies. I like the Pan's Labyrinth. And he's got a cool way of creating a world and having it kind of like just the architecture and colors, kind of comic booky mixed with like a grimy version of Oz, like a weird grime to it, and just he has a visual aesthetic I enjoy. So that's what got me into it. But
Very
normally
artistic.
Frankenstein, the concept of Frankenstein, I poo-pooed. But all right, here we go. Let's talk about it. What do you think?
I really enjoyed it. I'm very familiar with the Frankenstein story.
Yeah.
I've done the book, seen quite a few adaptations of it. Not a big fan of the old black and white one. I watched it not too long ago, and boy, it's weird pacing. They're spending a lot of time on stuff that doesn't matter.
Right. They got modern pacing in this one. Here's where I think the home run got me. This is a period piece, of course.
Oh, yeah.
So, starting out in an old frigate cutting through the ice in Antarctica.
Okay, so this is the framing from the book.
Yeah.
This is how the book is. So the story starts and ends with, the whole story is actually occurring in the Arctic, the frozen North Arctic, I believe.
Yeah.
Where one of those old sailing ships, big sailing ships from the 1700s, is stuck in the ice. This is the age of explorers.
Yeah, like he's going towards the North Pole and he hits the ice wall. So the ship is there, and the guy's got to get off the ship, and they're trying to chisel it out and pour hot stuff there, trying to chisel it out,
Which is a super common thing back then for these Arctic explorers.
Yeah.
Back in this day and age. So the ship's stuck in the ice. So the captain's got the crew out there trying to, do what they can to get free of the ice. And he's saying things like, if we stay here, 2 more days, we're going to be here for, 3 more months.
Yeah, till the thaw.
Well, yeah, till the thaw. So that's the setup. So in this sort of bleak Arctic hellhole, this guy stumbles out of the gloom, whatever. It's badly beaten up Victor Frankenstein,
Yeah.
He gets taken into the captain's cabin, and, puts him in a bed, we'll nurse you back to health or whatever, gets him patched up. And then Victor Frankenstein's like, I'll tell you who I am. Tell you my story. Then the story starts.
Yeah.
So it's all this framing device, like you're in the Arctic in the captain's cabin.
Yeah.
But
I was thinking it's going to start off with this story and like, we got to build till the action hits.
That's the way the 1930s one is.
Well,
so
not
much
here.
Slow building. It's like, oh my God.
Well, not here. They added in the old, what's that fire over there? And it's like the guys are chiseling away. And they go, and it's starting to get dark, and they see a fire over there, and then they walk over to see. Let's see what that is, and it ends up being Dr. Frankenstein's tent.
Oh, they found his camp.
Yeah, his camp, which was the end scene at the very end. So it does come back around, but the action ensues. Then we see the beast. We see Frank, the monster, and you go, "Holy shit, he's taking him out!" I mean, that first 15 minutes was like, "Holy crap, this thing is killer,"
Yeah.
And you appreciate too, like. The set design, the way.
That's what I was just thinking, because it's like a nice camera angle framed up. It looks good. The design elements, the colors, like the way it's laid out, the movement, the action.
Yeah,
it's well done. It's done by an artist. You can just tell.
Yeah, it's just and there's modern pacing, so you don't it's like a roller coaster in the first 15 minutes. You hit some highs right there, and you're like, whoa, and it throws you right into it, and then you go, whew, and right when you take your breath, you go, and then Victor Frankenstein goes, let me tell you the story,
Right.
and then you go back to the story, and then it begins, and it starts with, okay, here we go, Victor Frankenstein as a kid, and he's got a dad, and you start thinking like, all right, he's going to walk me through his childhood here. But no, they do a good job at just giving you the pertinent information.
And moving along quickly.
Yeah, you're only stuck in his childhood for about a good 15 minutes tops.
If that.
If
I was going to say like
8 minutes.
7 or 8, yeah.
Yeah. So, but you need it there because you
It's
realize
crucial.
he has a relationship with his brother. He has a younger brother who's a little bit more successful.
And first off, more importantly, before the brother comes along, his dad.
Well, yeah, his dad is an asshole.
You get Charles Dance.
Yeah, but his
Charles
dad's an old baron guy. He's a baron, but
a
he's
doctor.
also a doctor.
Doctor, yeah.
Yeah, and he's very strict.
Oh,
He's a bastard to Victor Frankenstein.
well, he's very strict on him. He's like, your name is my name, so you're my legacy for my reputation. So
Which conceptually comes full circle at the end because that's where we get the So when you hear Frankenstein, it's about Victor Frankenstein. I know, I keep thinking of, Gene Wilder.
Young Frankenstein is one of the best movies ever.
I know.
If you haven't seen Young Frankenstein, go watch Young Frankenstein.
Yeah,
If you've seen Young Frankenstein, it's been a while. Go watch Young Frankenstein.
Yeah, they kind of nail it there. But no, they get it really good. And then, then entered the brother who later on in life,
Well,
who funds him the money to put on this experiment.
so Victor is much older than his brother, so he is like, I don't know what, 13, 14, 15, when his mother gives birth to the brother and dies in childbirth.
Yes.
Right. And so then, a couple years later, 3, 4 years later, he's going off to college or whatever, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And then they got the younger brother back at home.
But younger brother ends up making a fortune in, however, I don't know what he did.
Yeah, I forgot what they said. He did. He was doing like international money exchange or something.
Yeah, it was like the early stock market version.
It was something like that.
But the kid ends up getting a bunch of money, blah blah blah, and
your brother's done well over in Austria or whatever.
Yeah, and he reconnects with Victor, and he funds Victor at this old mansion, and this old mansion he builds into this thing, and they want to make a.
No. Now, Christoph Waltz shows up. Well, so they cut to Victor in high school, having to give a defense against the critique that his experiments are gruesome and macabre and off the chain.
Yeah.
And so it's him in one of those old school circular theaters for like teaching schools at medical colleges in the 17 and 1800s or whatever. And he's like, oh no, and of course it's he's going into reanimating tissue with electricity, basically using the new technology of electricity in
he's got like a skull and a spine on a roller cart that and it comes to life, and everyone's like, whoa.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's a pretty cool scene, And once again, it looks great. The production design, the lighting, the light coming in from here. It's got, it looks cool. It's well done. It's very cinematic and it's very engaging. It just draws you into the story. So anyway, he gets like thrown out of school or whatever. But this Christoph Waltz character shows up. He's the financier guy.
Yeah.
And then once the financier guy is like, hey, let's make this happen, then Victor goes, you know what, I need my brother. He's the only one that I can trust. He brought his brother in, not for his brother's money, but just so that he could give his ideas and his orders to his brother to carry them out.
Yeah. Yeah, and he and his brother, his younger brother, is about to get married to a pretty girl.
Right.
Who she's kind of weird too, because she ends up popping up in the thing, and she meets the monster and stuff like that, but she's not afraid of it.
Right.
She's almost fascinated by the weirdness of it.
Yeah.
You know, she's kind of attracted to the gloom of it, or the loneliness of it.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, she's very, you know, tender-hearted and you know, empathetic and
But
sympathetic.
curious. Now the monster ends up like, okay, so lightning strikes, blah blah blah. He's got his thing, you know, and he brings it to life. And it's kind of, and the way Guillermo del Toro makes him look, he kind of looks like a guy in a skin suit. He's not quite as hunchbacky and gross as you'd think.
No, well, but that's
He just looks like a patchwork quilt of skins, but he's kind of toned and ripped.
yeah, that's
And
more.
he's like 7 feet tall, 9 feet tall, isn't he? He's kind of big.
Yeah, exactly. He is. Yeah, and they definitely portray that. They definitely play that up. The actor who's playing him is 6'5".
Yeah.
His name's Jacob Elordi. He was in Saltburn.
Yeah.
I know him from Saltburn. So then the girl. Did you ever see? God, what was the movie
How do
called?
we see her? She looks semi-familiar, long red hair.
She was in a movie, like a movie series. I forget what the first one was called. The second one was called Maxine or something like that.
I don't know.
It's about this girl from the Midwest, middle of nowhere somewhere. She becomes a serial killer to try and get out of her small town because she wants to be in movies or something like that.
I don't know.
It's like a horror movie.
Okay.
And then they made a sequel that's actually a prequel,
Okay.
you know, and tells the backstory of the character. Anyway, this is the girl. She's in all the movies.
Yeah. Okay.
So
I didn't. Yeah. She looked vaguely familiar, but she did a good. All the acting in this is stellar. Now, there's also.
wait. I got her right in front of me. I could look up her, what she's known for.
Oh, Jesus.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I wasn't thinking.
Now,
Pearl.
Victor Frankenstein's place.
Pearl, Maxine, and X
Oh.
are the three movies.
Oh, Pearl. Okay.
Yeah. Pearl, Maxine, and X. Those are all the same sort of storyline.
Yeah.
It's a recurring time sort of thing.
You notice though, Guillermo del Toro does make. Here's the thing. It's almost now you'll notice it in Hellboy too, like how he makes the world so grandiose, like almost like the stairwell and everything like that was so comic booky and so it almost looked like Oz,
Comic booky,
he
yeah.
was, it almost like he was paying homage to the set designer from Wizard of Oz. There was a little bit of the steampunky mixed with ornate Art Nouveau mixed with steampunk.
Yeah, that's sort of.
But then he threw a layer of
30s.
grime on it.
Yeah, that's 30s industrial aesthetic.
Yeah, it was really cool.
Yeah, but it's also very like typically like, you know, Batman streets of the city sort of feel,
Yeah.
you know, kind of thing. You know, which was when all that was all from, was like the 30s and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's very evocative of that sort of
Yeah.
feel, that sort of, you know.
Now
time period.
now when he's building the beast, there's a lot of body parts and blood, and he's just pushing all the blood away. You know, that place would have stunk really bad. You know, but
Well,
they overlooked that for the sake of the story.
as you sort of see later, is all just getting like funneled out into the river below or something like that.
Yeah, the sewer. Maybe he was pushing it down through, and it, you know, yeah.
Yeah, well, they showed later when the monster.
He had the leaf. He took the leaf and he threw it down that little river,
Yeah,
and that's how he knew to get out of there when the place exploded
Yeah.
and caught on fire. That's how he knew he got out in the wild. So, okay, spoiler alert, minor. Frankenstein, the monster, gets out.
Frankenstein.
Yeah, Frankenstein. He gets out. He's floating in the real world. And Victor, where did Victor go?
Yeah, I mean,
Victor he kind of thought the beast died
yeah,
in the fire because his place burned down and caught on fire. So he was like, all right, I'm out of here. I'm done. I'm done with this experiment. Nothing ever works. And then he leaves. And then but the beast lives. And he goes on and he travels through the mountainsides and everything like that.
Oh, right. Okay, yeah. So whatever happened, the house exploded or whatever. I don't know. Like they said in Poltergeist, and the house imploded or whatever. His leg gets bashed up. Like something like takes a big chunk out of his right leg.
Yeah, you wonder how that happens. Yeah.
I think it was just the explosion, some shrapnel.
Yeah, because in the very beginning scene, he has a prosthetic leg. And then all through the story, you're like, wait a minute, he's got 2 legs there. How did he have a prosthetic leg? And you find out when the house explodes, you know.
Yeah, well, his, not the house, his laboratory.
His laboratory,
castle
yeah.
thing. Yeah, it was like some old castle or
Yeah.
tower or something.
But Frankenstein...
But it was good. Once again, the production design of that building that they were using for
yeah, it was a
him,
little cartoony, but
it's sort of like...
It puts you there.
It reads well. Yeah, it was a little cartoony, but it was like... It was interesting enough that it had that sort of circular hole in the floor that dumped down to below. But you could also see how it sort of makes sense for what they're trying to do with the whole... You know, harnessing the lightning setup and all that sort of stuff. You know, the one.
Yeah, his laboratory was different.
Is,
that was a lot more steampunky. But I'm just talking like his main front doors when people would enter the front doors.
Yeah, downstairs.
And then he'd have the stairwell going up.
Yeah.
You know, there's ornate things going on. I'm telling you, he did some homage to a different movie that I was like, that looks familiar to me. I think he's thrown us a Wizard of Oz vibe in there to give you the hint that you're about to see behind the curtain of the Wizard of Oz. You know what I mean? So I think there's a little visual homage going on there.
Very likely. Very likely.
Yeah. But yeah, my only critique now, the CGI, incredible across the board.
Yeah, it looks great. Looks great.
Except for there was at one point, the beast, the monster, he got in a fight with some wolves, some dire wolves that attacked him.
Yes.
That looked a little cheesy. Have they not figured out CGI wolves yet? The movement of the wolf seemed a little rushed.
From my understanding from like the director's commentary stuff on like Game of Thrones.
Okay.
I think it's time consuming because there's so much hair and fur simulation. It just takes so long to render and everything. It's just a pain in the ass.
Just the movement didn't seem supernatural. I mean, when they'd show the wolf like crouched down staring at him, you'd go, wow, that looks real, seamless. It was the movement and the action. Like one jumped on the other and one jumped on his back and one jumped on his head, you know, and he's fighting them. When he was fighting the wolves, that was kind of like, all right, this is looking a little bit CGI.
True.
But it went by so quick that you're back to the normal part, then you're like, all right, we're back to normal.
Yeah, well, and it was something minor where it was like you're saying, they're like jumping on him. It was almost like, for me, when they were jumping, it was like you could almost see the computer logarithmic scaling up as to simulate them moving in 3D space.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if they were jumping from here, they would get a little bit bigger as they go. If they were jumping from there, they'd be smaller, you know, sort of thing. You know, with this sort of perspective.
Yeah, I wasn't 100% sold on that, but I was like, all right. I was thinking,
that
well,
was
it's
where
probably
the
expensive.
motion looked weird. You know what I mean?
It reminded me of the time when I remember seeing Thor Ragnarok, in the theater. Right.
Did you see it in the theater?
I saw it in the theater with the D seats, and I remember seeing some of the CGI blur.
I noticed
and it made me kind of mad. I was kind of like, that could have been really good, but I feel like they rushed. And some of the peripheral stuff was kind of blurry and weird, and they're focusing on the part, and then the part that was moving over here was at a different frame rate, maybe. It was weird. It was just something was weird.
It's just a focal thing with the lens.
Yeah. Yeah, it brought me back to Ragnarok. Just that one part, though, the wolf. But you needed the wolf scene, because the wolves were kind of a thing. But they had the CGI, like he was hiding in this barn, and these little mice were crawling all over him all the time. And he got to be friends with the little mice. He was really sweet to the mice. And they looked real.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell what was a real mouse and not a real mouse. That looked really good. I was like, damn. They nailed the mice. But the wolves were a little weird.
For all I know, maybe the rats were actually all real rats that they just trained. Like, it's pretty easy to train rats.
Yeah, or green screened rats and just overlaid it.
Some of them, probably, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, it was pretty good.
Because, there'd be like, 5 rats around hanging out, and there's one like running down his leg.
Yeah, one's running down his leg, one might cruise over here, so
like
you'd always see him in the barn.
Yeah, he was like chilling, reading a book, like running up his knee and back
Now,
down.
this was another thing, too. A little plot hole, but fine. We needed it. He learned, the blind guy told him how to read, showed him how to read.
That's all straight out the book.
Okay, but he's reading some pretty complex stuff. He only had about 12 books there he had to choose from.
Well, the first book was the Bible.
True.
right? So that's some pretty heavy reading. So you get all that. You try and whatever you make of that. I think that's where the story should be. What did this, made, man with no frame of reference,
Yeah.
program into him just the Bible? What does he make of it?
Oh, yeah.
Does he notice the glaring, inconsistencies?
Yeah, that's true. They didn't really mention he just was reading poetry books and things like that. It's not like they gave him the Great Gatsby or anything.
No, the first book they gave him was the Bible.
Yeah, but everything beyond that, just they kind of glossed over what he was reading.
Yeah, but you got to figure it was probably, some stuff about like math.
But the Bible is pretty complex. I mean, he was literally he didn't know anything. He could barely say the word, Victor.
Right.
Go from I can only speak Victor and then the girl's name. What was her name? Elizabeth,
yeah.
He could say 2 words. Now to go from the 2 words to reading the Bible was kind of a bit of a stretch. The Bible's pretty complex.
Yeah, but that's how it was in the book. In the book, it was like, it was never that he was dumb. It's just, he didn't know a lot of words. He didn't say a lot of words. But then, once he gets out there in the wilderness and he comes across that family in the woods and he's hanging out with the blind guy. Because there was a long time in the book where he was like hiding in the barn. You sort of saw it in the movie.
Yeah.
Where he's like hiding in the barn and he was like reading books. He would go in and like steal the different books off the bookshelf.
Yeah, and he was watching the family talk and listening to them talk to each other and stuff. So he's picking up words there.
Yeah.
Because there was a kid and then like 3 brothers and a wife, 2 wives, like a weird farmer situation.
Yeah, but that's all like in the books and everything like that.
Yeah, pretty cool though. But definitely worth the watch. I really enjoy it. The pacing does not, like I said, it's 2.5 hours.
It's like 2.5, 2:45.
Yeah, you didn't really get bogged down with that though.
No, it moves along pretty good. It
Yeah.
doesn't get bogged down into side plots or weird things. It keeps on focus. It's telling the story. It's moving the things forward.
Yeah.
It looks good. It's fun. I mean, it's dark, but
Yeah.
and it's.
But they did a good job at brightening it up in a weird way.
Well, I mean, just dark in tone.
Oh yeah, dark in tone, right? But it wasn't.
It looks great.
It wasn't hard visually because sometimes you would think
great.
like it's a rainy night in England in the 1800s. They made it clear as a bell. You could see the moon. You could see you could see the mice. You could see the thing. You could see him jiggle the handle. It wasn't like what's he doing? I didn't ever find myself questioning what's going on.
Yeah.
Visually.
No. It tells the story very visually. But
Yeah.
it's well put together.
Now the
really looks nice.
very end, you get why they call him Frankenstein, because Victor learned from his father, carry on my name.
His father's name is Victor as well.
Yeah, and he kind of says, "I guess you're my son. I created you, right?"
Oh yeah.
And that's where he goes, well, then I have to carry your name. That's where the monster says, "I will be Frankenstein." So that's kind of cool. You see how he gets his name as Frankenstein.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
Yeah.
And he didn't massacre everybody on the on the ship, the ice frigate.
Yeah. Well, yeah, there was a bit of an incident.
There was an incident. Yeah, he lightened the load.
But yeah, we can venture to kind of spoil a little bit on this one because we all know the story. We all know, essentially the Frankenstein story. But this is well done. It's very,
Now you're saying, but of all the ones
book.
you've seen, is this the one the closest to to what you've seen in the original writing, the book?
I feel like the Kenneth Branagh one with De Niro as the monster was pretty close to the book as well.
Huh.
Because there was a little bit more of the plot with the sort of love interest angle sort of thing.
Okay.
That I believe was there in the book.
All right.
I think there was a good chunk on that, which they sort of did in the Kenneth Branagh version.
There was a point in this where the Beast just wanted Victor to create somebody to spend eternity with him.
Right.
And I was thinking to myself,
what it
oh
comes
my
down
God,
to.
here we go. You're going to bring back Elizabeth? You can't do that. I thought this was kind of going in that obvious direction, but no, it didn't. They took a U-turn on that one.
So far. You never know.
There was no real room for a sequel. Could there been?
So this is where, when you were talking about the
Bride.
Christian Bale, is in this movie, The Bride, which is going to be a retelling of Bride of Frankenstein.
Yeah, The Bride of Frankenstein. Yeah.
Which was the second movie back in the 30s. Which arguably is a better movie than Frankenstein.
Really?
The 30s movie, yeah. Yeah, the first Frankenstein. All the stuff that people think of when they think of the Frankenstein movie is like the last 15 minutes, 20 minutes. It's like an hour and 10 minutes of, just
Okay.
yappity.
Yeah, drawn out.
Yeah, laying out exposition.
But
trying to
this
make it like a
Guillermo del
mystery.
Toro's version, Victor dies. So there's no one who would make a part two. If he was to make a part two out of this one, the Beast would have to create, And where did Elizabeth's body? Because you could tell he kind of had a thing for Elizabeth.
Oh, yeah. That's who he wants. That's his idea of a woman.
Yeah.
He doesn't know any other.
Yeah. So I guess he doesn't meet anybody yet. He hasn't had a chance because,
Yeah, maybe at the beginning of the next movie, it'll be the monster will invent a time machine.
No, or the monster at least could find his old manuscripts and figure out how to do it, build the machines. Because Victor was writing everything down because he wanted everyone to know what he was doing and how to do it. He had drawings like the Da Vinci's. He had like books and things he was writing because he wanted to be famous for that. More so because you got that in the beginning in the school thing. He wanted people to revere him not for his creation. He wanted his manuscripts, the work, to make him famous. You know what I mean? Like,
Well, yeah.
he didn't care about when they go, your skull on the spine on the thing is an abomination. He didn't try. When they kicked him out of school and he went running, he grabbed all his manuscripts. He didn't grab the spine. He doesn't care about the spine and skull. You know what I mean? Same with Frankenstein. When his place was burning down, he grabbed his books. He didn't try to save the Beast.
Right.
So he doesn't care about that. He cares more about the manuscripts and the papers.
Yeah.
So, and actually the Beast picked up on that too. He was kind of like, you saved your books, but not me.
That was sort of the whole predicate.
That's why he's a little angry.
That was kind of the whole point of like I had developed an animated series kind of loosely based on this Frankenstein idea. The idea of like the doctor makes the monster just because it's the next thing to do because the tests were yielding good results.
Yeah.
So the next thing to do was to put together body parts and make a person, right? And then you do, and then there they are, now they're alive, and then they're like, well, what do I do now? And then the doctor's like, I don't know.
You figured it out.
Yeah. And then, like I said, you're kind of left with this blank slate.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not like a child that needs to develop and learn and stuff like that, but it's sort of like a, blank, you put the operating system into it. So to see what happens.
It was good though. I will say it was pretty good. I really like this version. I'm kind of glad I watched it. I was kind of poo-pooed on the Frankenstein idea. I feel like because it's cliche ground. I'm like, what are you gonna do that I haven't seen before?
Well,
They kind of did it. They did it the right way.
Same thing with like Titanic. Like we know
how it ends.
we know
Right.
Now I'll kind of always make the argument I always like, with movies, like it's kind of how it's done. Like those old Hammer horror movies and the AIP stuff with Vincent Price and all that sort of stuff. It's how it's done. It's
Yeah. And within this 2.5 hour time, I was hoping you hear me criticize all the time that I don't believe in a movie you can create an attachment to a character because you don't have enough time. And if the director gets me attached to him, he did a good thing because he's, you know what I mean? He gave us the poignant parts for us to attach.
Yeah, and it is all about the characters. It's
Yes.
always about
And
the
this one
characters.
you do attach, and you understand why, you know, Victor's a little mad, but he's kind of doing it, and why he did it because of, you know, his father being a jerk, you know, and you know he's a little mad. But you even see the gullible naivety of his brother. What,
Yeah.
Nathan or something? What was his brother's name? Nathaniel?
William?
William, yeah. So you see William's naivety, and you see Elizabeth's curiosity. You see, you know, or even just the captain of the ship where all his guys got killed.
Yeah.
You know, when he's like, tell me, what is this thing? And he's all panicked. And then when Victor starts telling him the story, you see him by the end of the story, you know, he's got a tear in his eye, like, because he understands, you know.
Yeah.
So you weirdly get attached to these people.
And that's sort of the whole point is you know, the character development and sort of getting to know them. And yeah, as the story moves through, like, you know, it's very effective. It's very clear in its communication. Like,
Yes.
it knows what it wants to say, and I think it presents it all very clearly
Yeah.
and effectively.
So I say thumbs up.
Yeah.
I'll give it 2 thumbs up. I'm in. That's a good one. It's a good one. Guillermo del Toro hit a home run.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch it more. I'm gonna watch it, you know,
Yeah.
again, you know, give it a second look, you know, because it's nice to look at. I hear they released it in the theater in like a limited release. I mean, I would love to see this thing in the theater.
It could work. Yeah, it could definitely work, especially if some of those thunderclaps and stuff like that, the lightning, if that was really heavy and loud, you know, yeah.
Yeah, I
Or
mean,
some of those hits, you know, like there's times when you hear, like these dudes are hiding from Frankenstein's running on above them, you know, you hear go, 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 like he's chasing people, and you can hear people shuffling above him, you know, it's
Yeah.
like, whoa.
Yeah, it's well put together, you know, like music wise, like the look of it, the sound design. Like,
Yeah.
like it's all nice. It's a friggin' movie, man.
It's a home run. It's a
Yeah.
home run. It's worth the watch. It's worth the 2.5
yeah.
hours. Yeah, sit down, dim the lights, and just enjoy it.
yeah, it's good. It's impressive.
Yeah, turn your phone on mute. Don't get any interruptions. Enter the world. Dim the lights. Watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, cool. All right,
We're
have a
out.
good
We'll see
time.
you next week.
Yeah, see you next week.